y'all, it's Hope at Crafty Hope and welcome. Today I am joining in a collaboration with Consie from Atop Serenity Hill. Consie invited me to participate in this collaboration. She's been doing this every several weeks with other artists where you are given 3 prompts and 15 minutes to create something in your art journal. So she has a prompt deck that she sells in her Etsy shop. I'll link to that as well as Consie's site below. But the deck comes in 3 sheets, and I think there's also back sides too. I didn't do the back sides. That I can't even remember how many. It's like 70 something prompts, and we're working from those. I don't know what else to say about it. So it's gonna be exciting. Like I said, it's 15 minutes in an art journal, and we're using 3 prompts. So she's got all kinds of stuff in here, and she went ahead and drew our 3 prompts so that we would be working from the same 3, and that way you can see what each of us do with those prompts. So the 3 she drew for us were pencil, spring, and mix. And y'all, I have been stressing about this because, well, pencil's easy enough. I've pulled out one of my chunky mechanical pencils that I love, along with some Stabilos. I've got some colored pencils off to the side and watercolor pencils. So pencil's not a big deal. But then spring and mix, and y'all, I started thinking about salad because, you know, spring mix. Anyway. But spring, you know, I can work with that. I have pulled out some watercolor flowers that I've made and cut out. So just some these fun little things that can go into it. But I also know that I could use spring colors, which to me are pastels, pinks and blues and yellows and that kind of thing. And then mix I think has been the hardest one for me. So I've got a palette out, and I think I might mix up some colors, maybe pastels. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I could mix up maybe a texture paste. I don't know. I don't think I have enough time for that in 15 minutes. But we're gonna get started here in just a second and do this thing. Right, my battery died. I had to come back. The way Consie does this is she takes her 3 prompts and mixes them up so that she doesn't know which one she's going to start with, which one she's going to go with. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do it that way. You see I'm shuffling them now. But I kind of, you know, I don't know. I kind of just want to use the 3 prompts as a whole. But since this is the way she does it, I'm going to go ahead and do it the same way and see how we do. So I have my timer here. I could use my watch, but I'm going to use old school timer to do this. I am also working in this junk journal that I have. It's almost full. It's from the Robin Ray Smith Transitions Journal Workshop. Can I? And yeah, so I picked a page that I thought would work. I'm trying to keep it small since 15 minutes can go pretty quickly, and we'll see. Oh, nervous. All right. I've been putting this off because I'm nervous, but I'm like, you know, it's 15 minutes. Just go and do something. So we're going to do that. All right, so I'm starting my timer, and I pulled my first one, and it is pencil, which I was really happy with. See the thumbs up. So I went ahead and grabbed my chunky pencil and did some scribbles across the page. And since I had that Stabilo sitting, I realized I wanted to back that. And since that Stabilo was sitting there, I went ahead and added some scribbles with it as well, with the black one. And then I'm going to grab a wet paintbrush and activate that. I'm just doing this kind of sloppily, not getting every single line wet, but just enough to get a kind of a grungy yumminess. And I'll dry that. I did cut out some of this. And then I grabbed an Inktense, a watercolor pencil in apple green, and I did some scribbles on there. And then I grabbed another watercolor pencil in fuchsia and some more just scribbles just to get some color on the page because I didn't know what was going to happen next. And while I had pencil on the brain, I went ahead and grabbed those watercolor pencils. So I'm activating them, first the green since it's the lighter of the 2, and then the fuchsia. And then I'll dry again. Y'all, drying time eats up so much of my 15 minutes. All right, so I drew the next one, and it is mix. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna mix up something. So first, I grabbed my Amsterdam acrylic ink in cyan. I think it's primary cyan, which is like, I love this color, y'all. And I put a little gesso in my little palette cup and a little bit of that ink, and I'm mixing them. I have never done this before, mixed gesso. I don't think I have, it's not something that sits on my brain. So I mixed these two together, the gesso and the acrylic ink, and made this new color. I don't know. It's an alright color. And I wasn't real sure what I was going to do with it, so I just started drawing circles. Just not even circles, O's, I guess, because they're not filled in circles. Just some big wide donuts that I'm going to put all over this page. Kind of a mark making doodle, but over the whole page. And then I decide, while it's still kind of wet, to kind of blur those colors together. It doesn't work. I think I don't know, just trying to draw this out a little bit. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I think having known exactly what 3 prompts I had made it a little bit easier here, because I knew that the last one was going to be spring, and I was trying to make these colors not too grungy and kind of still springy. And I don't know, I don't know if that was a blessing or a curse, but yeah. So I went ahead and watered down a little bit of that mixed up gesso and ink, and I'm splattering it kind of just all over my page. I do love me some splatters. And again, I'm going to dry this. And I blotted up some of it because the gesso was kind of thick in some places and wasn't drying as fast. And so, yeah, I got some of that up, which was gave me a little bit of a neat texture. And I went back into my pencils and grabbed that graphite Stabilo, and I am just doing some really loose circles inside of my big donut O's. So, yeah, I'm not going to activate that. But then I decided I needed some white splatter. So I grabbed that same gesso again. I'm going to wet it a little bit and make some white splatters on here just to brighten this up a little. And while I've got that on my brush, I'll go ahead and make a little bit of, I do this series of like just 3 dashes in a couple spots on the page. Again, just trying to get some white on this page. It was feeling kind of dark and heavy. And again, knowing that spring was my next prompt, which, yeah, well, I pulled it out there, but I dried, and I'm showing you there. The spring is my last one. So I knew I had those flowers I had pulled out, and I'm going through them, trying to decide which one I think goes best with the colors I've got on the page. And that blue one with that little bit of brown kind of stuck out to me. So I decided on it, and I had off to the side this Ziploc bag full of these stacks I've made, which are just paper and fabric scraps that I sewed together. And I find this one that's got I think it's some cheesecloth and a handwritten letter and a piece of dictionary page, really subtle, and decide that's what I'm going to put on there. And I noticed that my flower has some gold marks on it. I knew that I'd used this Uniball Signo gold gel pen to make those, so I was like, well, I'm going to bring that in here too. So I add some more circles on those blue lines, and then I'm holding my pen way at the top of it to get some more really messy lines, and this time I'm going around the outside of these circles. And I pull out my big chat stickers from Tim Holtz because I knew I was probably going to use one of them for a sentiment, and my matte gel medium. And at this point, I knew I was down to like a minute and a half. So I'm rushing a little bit, trying to decide exactly how I want everything. Throw in that gesso on the back of that little sewn scrap, and then on the back of my watercolor flower. And then I take far too much time, like a minute or something, to try to figure out a sentiment. I was trying to put a couple of words together to maybe make something longer, but it just could not find what I wanted. So I ended up pulling out blessings and sticking that down, and that's going to be it for this page. I want to thank Consie for the opportunity to collaborate with her on this. I had a really good time. It was a bit of a challenge, but I needed it, so I appreciate that. I encourage you to go check out her video. I'll have the link below. Let me know if you have any questions, and make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming by and watching. I will see y'all later. Bye.